Today we were heading out to an indoor yard sale at a place called Shawville in Quebec. It was advertised as an antique and vintage yard sale. Hi everyone, it's Marlene. Come along with me while we shop this yard sale. First off, this looked like a very large chocolate mold. It was tin, and I probably would have normally picked this up. It was only $5, and they can be quite expensive in an antique store, but I have nowhere to put something that size in my house, so I left it. Now, even though this was advertised as an antique and vintage item yard sale, there wasn't a lot, in my opinion, that was antique. There were a few vintage items, as you'll see as we go around, but a lot of the things seemed to me to be more like thrift store items. There were vendors selling new items like baked goods and makeup, new jewelry, and so on. And there were some vendors that were selling a little bit of furniture, but for the most part, I found the items thrift store items. I did like this little Wexford pitcher, and normally I would have picked it up, but it was one of the few things on the table that did not have a price. I meant to ask about it and go back later, but I simply forgot. You'll see in my haul that I did pick up this item. It was brass. It was called a perpetual calendar. It went from 1961 to 1980, so it was definitely vintage. And you'll get a better look at this in my haul. These blue transferware cups said made in England on the bottom. I was trying to show you that, but it didn't show up very well. And they were $2 each. Then I was checking all the silverware for real silver pieces. I do collect some, but they wanted quite a bit of money for each piece. And this was a nice little sugar and creamer set made by Enesco from Japan. At this point, I was struggling to find anything interesting to show you. As I stated before, a lot of these items seemed like they were thrift store items. So I did go around the whole room and I did pick up anything that I found interesting, including this little toothpick holder. But for the most part, there weren't a lot of items left that were interesting until I got to the other side of the room, and then I did find a few things. I do collect red glassware, especially vintage items and items that are not flashed. And I did consider that little bowl for $4, but in the end, I put it back. And then you'll see in my haul, I did pick up that bird. I didn't show it very well here, but I show it better later. This little tin was nice. It was a bluebird tin from Worcestershire, England, and it was in great condition, but they did want $15 for it. This was a nice little hobnail Fostoria piece. It was actually a candle holder, and I did pick it up. And what I use it for is a riser in my decoration. I turn it over and it works better that way. She had a couple other interesting glass pieces here, including some salt cellars, which I didn't pick up because I have lots. And then I was checking out this decanter for my daughter. She's looking for some barware. It was a good price, but I need to check in with her more to see exactly which one she's looking for, whether she wants glass or crystal. While checking out this jewelry, I did come across a couple of nice vintage pieces. These were actually called collar points. They used to wear them on the collars of their shirts. She had several sets, and she had them priced at $5 a set.
My sister-in-law sells it for, well, she has for years. But I do like little collectibles.
This vendor had some nice vintage and a couple of antique pieces, but they were very pricey. I liked these whisker dolls, or whisk, but she wanted $40 each for them. And this was a nice little trinket box, and it was priced at $80. So she had antique prices basically on all of her items. This art easel, brass, for $30 was a good deal and would have been nice for an art collector. Hopefully someone managed to pick that up. This vendor had their prices color coded, and I didn't recognize that until after I'd gone around the whole table, and then they had a sign there saying what the colors meant. So that little milk glass vase was $2. I might have picked that up if I'd have known the price, but I left it. And now we are going to move on to the haul portion of my video. I did not pick up a lot that day. I only picked up 3 items. The first one, as I said, was this little brass calendar, a 20-year span calendar. It showed the days of the week, the day of the month, the year, and the month. And I'm not sure all how it worked, but I thought it was rather cute. So I picked that up, and here I show a little bit about it spinning. And then I also show you where I style this on my mantle. And it may not stay there for long, but that's where it is for now on my tier tray. Another item I picked up was this little brown bird. It was only $2. And it also for now is on my mantle. But once I move into fall decor, it's probably going to change as well. I did grab this little candle holder, but I use it turned up the other way as a riser. So thank you for watching the video. I hope you found something of enjoyment, even though there wasn't a lot to see that day.